Hello. No, I am not Holly Lindquist. Changing plans this morning. We're switching weeks. I'm Lori Goddard, a member of IPLC. I'm also the office administrator, so I'm used to being behind the scenes, not up in front of you guys. We're talking about accessibility. As Bruce mentioned last week a bit, disability is the one minority group anybody can be a part of at any point in their life. Think about it. You go to a basketball pickup game and you tear your ACL trying to do a jump shot. You have a hip replacement, any kind of accident. You suddenly get a diagnosis that slows down your mobility. It can happen to anyone. And the reality is, as we age, our chances get greater. By the time we're in our mid-50s, our chances are 1 in 5. So that's what? 10, 15, 20 of us in this room right now at some point could have some sort of mobility issue. And when you add a condition that also triggers bladder control issues, imagine how much worse that can be. Prostate cancer, any other conditions where walking up and down the stairs actually triggers your bladder. I can't even imagine. Though when I was pregnant, I can kind of relate. So I've been a part of the disability community my whole life. Some of you may or may not know, I was born with only part of my left leg, so I use a prosthetic leg so that I can get around. And mobility was always a very important part of my life. I was just like any other kid. I wanted to move around and do everything that my friends did. And so I had to adapt because the world around me wasn't really made for me. I hopped better than anyone I knew if I wasn't wearing my leg. I had amazing balance that even my daughter, who's a gymnast, is relatively jealous of. I could run on crutches. I did what I had to do. But thankfully, when I was 7, because before that I had a very straight prosthetic leg, so you can imagine how hard it is to get up and down stairs or sit in the back seat of a car when you can't bend your leg. When I was 7, there was an amazing procedure called the Van Ness turnaround that allowed surgeons to use my ankle, I can explain it all a lot more later if you're interested, to be in my knee joint. So I had a prosthetic was built for me, and I could finally walk up and down the stairs like everyone else. But you can imagine, once you're given that freedom, the devastation when you're a very active kid and you keep breaking them, which I did often. My mom said it was like you were so devastated and it was just a repair that had to happen. But that meant my choice was taken away. And choice is something that I think we often take for granted. And I'm lucky because I have a choice. Now, some days I'm better than others, and some days walking up a flight of stairs is mentally exhausting as physically exhausting. When I was 7 months pregnant in the heat of August, 90 degrees, my husband, lovely man, decided to throw me a 40th birthday party on a Wrigley rooftop. It happened to be the one without an elevator. I almost didn't go. I almost missed my surprise party because the thought of climbing the stairs was very overwhelming at that point. And I had to think too, well, if when I get up there, is there gonna be a bathroom up there? Am I gonna have to do this again? You know, geez, once you do it once, you don't wanna do it again. So I can relate to the mobility issues, even though I don't have them most often. But someday I may not have that again. I may have more mobility challenges because I'm so physically active. A lot of wear and tear in my body. And many people don't have the choice. It happens, and then they have to learn to adapt. And then they have to realize that the world starts getting smaller. We're part of a church that's filled with fellowship and so many wonderful opportunities to be together with the people. Because the reason we come to the church, it's not really about the building, it's about the people. So imagine if you can't get to those people. That's really hard and frustrating. And this building we've done a lot to adapt that. We put the lift in, we have at least the chair to get up the stairs. But once you get over that one hurdle, you still need that other aspect of everyday life that we all take advantage of. And I think that's a choice that most people often don't get to make once they reach that certain point. When we solve an accessibility issue for someone with a disability, we all benefit. History has proven that. Every day you use technology that was actually invented to solve a challenge for someone with a disability. Voice technology, mobile phones, even the curb cuts. Imagine doing it all the time with a stroller or your bicycle and we never had ramps. Those were built for people with disabilities, but then they were made for the masses and everyone's able to take advantage of it. So if we solve this one problem for people in a bathroom, in an area where we can all be, not only will we take away the physical and mental exhaustion for the people who really want to participate, I guarantee every one of us will benefit from this. So I'm excited, and I hope you will be too, and join us in the efforts to raise the funds for this project. Thank you.